my name is John Peralt, and I am the Executive Director of the Berkshire Humane Society. Welcome to Purr Wag Adopt, Berkshire Humane Society's new educational television program. Our goal of this local television show is to bring our viewers current, relevant topics that relate to animals, highlight some of the outstanding companion animals that we have available for adoption, and to bring you the happenings and goings-on at the Berkshire Humane Society. If there is a topic that you would like to see in future shows, please don't be afraid to email us at social@berkshirehumanesociety.org. This February, we are celebrating Adopt a Rescued Rabbit Month. The mission is twofold. The first is to educate the public about the third most popular pet that is surrendered to the Berkshire Humane Society. Rabbits are so much misunderstood. And our second goal is to rehome the wonderful rabbits that we have available at the shelter. Here with me today is Aaron Staja, who is a member of our feline services staff at Berkshire Humane Society and who is the person who's primarily responsible for the well-being of our bunnies. So welcome, Aaron. How are you today?
Good. Yourself, John?
Aaron, I guess the first question I want to talk to you about a little bit is why so many rabbits? I mean, I said before, it's the third most popular pet that ends up coming through our doors on a yearly basis, but why are so many rabbits surrendered?
I think more than anything, people don't understand the care that it takes to actually have a rabbit. And they are just as intense as care as cats or dogs are. They require a lot of attention, a lot of cleaning, and a lot of play and exercise time that people don't quite get.
Realize. I think at first they see a little bunny and they see how nice and calm they are. And they don't realize when they get home that these bunnies do grow up into be rabbits. Like we're going to talk about a special rabbit that we have with us today. But also the amount of care that they require is certainly great. How many rabbits does the Berkshire Humane Society have at any one time?
We can house up to 5, 6 in emergency cases at any point, and we are almost always full. So in addition to that, we also have a wait list of about 25 rabbits right now that are still looking to be surrendered. So.
Do you have a feeling now, you know, Easter's coming up, we're a month or so away from Easter, and I think that's why the ASPCA, which was the organization that really started the Rescue a Rabbit Month in February, and I think they strategically positioned that prior to Easter. Do you feel that, you know, we receive many rabbits after the Easter holiday that they come in, or are those some of the reasons why people are surrendering them?
Absolutely. We tend to get quite a few calls after the holiday has gone by. People have adopted them as a present for another person or a pet for their children, and they don't quite understand what the care is that is involved, or they buy them for people who don't really want them, and they wind up just having to be surrendered because nobody really wants to or understands how to care for them.
So today our first part of our mission is to educate people about rabbits, and why do you think they make such great companion animals for the right person? For the right person,
they're sweet, they're loyal, they're lovable. They do play. They love to be down on the floor romping around with you. So they definitely need a lot of floor time and a lot of enrichment time. You know, they bounce toys around and they'll climb up on your lap just like a cat will, and they're just very gentle, sweet creatures. So.
And what type of care, I know you've touched on it a bit here, what type of care does it take to keep your bunny happy and healthy?
Well, rabbits themselves are very meticulous creatures, so you have to help them keep their habitat clean as well. Some get very picky. They can be litter box trained, which is helpful, but they do need a lot of floor time. So proofing your house, bunny proofing your house is a huge factor. You've got cords, drapes, flooring, furniture, everything that you've got to take into consideration that they can destroy if they don't have the right materials, such as chews and wood chews and veggies to eat on, and things for them to trim their nails and their teeth, phone books, cardboard tubes, that kind of thing. So
now I know when some people come into the shelter and they go in and see your bunny room, one of the things they're amazed at is when they see those litter boxes within their cages. Can you talk to us a little bit about what we do at the shelter to help housebreak our bunnies?
Most rabbits are actually willing to use a litter box when it's provided. Most of them will pee in the box. The first step to doing so is offering the box, and rabbits tend to go to the bathroom where they are eating. So if you take their food bowl and you stick it in the back corner of that box, it forces them to be in the litter box when they're eating. So it's a good start along the way.
Good tip to help. Now, we have a bunny and it's in our home and we allow it to run loose. Supervision, do they need supervision, not supervision?
Absolutely, they need to be supervised because they will get into everything and anything they can. You got to make sure that the room they're in is as rabbit-proofed as possible, and keeping an eye on them is huge because they'll go after your woodwork if they don't have the proper outlet. They do need to keep their teeth and their nails trimmed, like a cat needs to keep their nails trimmed. It's the same theory.
Okay. What about veterinary care?
Rabbits generally need to see a vet when something is wrong. Spaying and neutering is the biggest reason rabbits go to vets, but they do get issues. They get bowel issues and digestive issues, mouth issues with their teeth, so they do need some veterinary care. Not as extensive as a cat or dog, but definitely should see a vet, and one that's trained to deal with them, because unfortunately there aren't a lot out there these days that have experience with rabbits.
Right.
So.
Right. Now you talked a little bit about the digestive tract and having to get exercise and things like that. Special diet, commercial, compared to what you may find in the grocery store with fresh vegetables and things?
Absolutely. Hay is the main staple of their diet. Timothy hay tends to be the best for their digestive tract, and they should get as much as they're willing to ingest. That's going to be their best bet. Veggies, fresh fruits and veggies are good. High fiber lettuce, dark greens are good for them. Carrots they love. Little pieces of apples as treats, that kind of things they really enjoy. They make bunny pellets, which is also a good part of their diet. They should receive a minimal amount of pellets a day, about a half a cup, depending on the rabbit itself.
Gives them their commercial balanced diet.
Right, but like any other animal in the food, you want to make sure it's a good quality so it's actually helping their system and getting them what they need.
Right, and fresh water, do we have bottles, do we use water bowls?
We use both.
Use both.
Because sometimes they're picky, sometimes they'll drink out of both, sometimes they'll only drink out of a bottle or a bowl, but it should be refilled with fresh water at least once a day, if not more.
Okay. Indoors compared to outdoors, we have a lot, you see a lot of the rabbit hutches, you drive by neighborhoods and they have rabbits that are kept outdoors, and can you talk about that issue as well?
We would much prefer to see the rabbits indoors. You're eliminating your temperature dangers, especially in the colder weather. You're eliminating a lot of your wildlife dangers. These days there isn't a lot of wildlife up on the mountains. They're not finding a lot of food up on the mountains. So they're straying down into the outskirts and into the cities even, and they're going after anything they can, and they can break into that wire cage on the front of the hutch, and it's very sad.
We've certainly seen it happen. We've certainly received many phone calls from many angry rabbit owners that have had an accident happen to their bunnies outside as well. So dogs and cats. They
can definitely get along. Introduction is huge. If you know your dog or your cat is a relatively calm, not a hunter type. I've seen rabbits and dogs sleep together. I've seen rabbits and cats play together. They can definitely become great companions with the proper introductions.
And I think the key word there that you used earlier was supervision as well.
Yes.
You know what? I'm new to the rabbit world, and I want to potentially get one for my family, and obviously I would be the caregiver, and my kids would hopefully get the enjoyment, but I would be ultimately responsible, and I would be wanting to be responsible for how many years, life expectancy, how many years should I be prepared for if I'm a good rabbit owner to be caring for this rabbit?
Well, they say the average lifespan of a rabbit is 6 to 8 years, but new studies have shown that when you have your rabbit indoor and it's spayed and neutered, they can live 10 years plus. Sometimes they have the life expectancy of that of a certain breeds of dogs, up to 14 years. So they're definitely a commitment and something you want to keep in mind when adopting.
Right. So. And spaying and neutering, I know that every rabbit that leaves the shelter, beside dog or cat, is sterilized prior to going to its new home. And not only because you can reproduce like a rabbit, but also because you can tell us about some of the medical benefits of that as well.
Well, one of the first medical benefits is if you spay or neuter your rabbit, you are going to greatly decrease the risk of reproductive cancers down the road, which is one of the biggest, hi sweetie, which is one of the biggest causes of death in rabbits as they get older. They develop reproductive cancers, so that's going to help that greatly. It also calms their hormone levels down, and it adjusts everything so they're gentler and sweeter and much more friendly and outgoing, huh? Yeah. And it also makes it easier for them to get along with other rabbits along the way, and companionship and introduction to having them have another rabbit buddy makes intros much easier.
Right. Well, I guess, you know, we've held off long enough, and we should probably talk about this very well-behaved bunny you have on your lap today. And if you can tell us a little bit about her.
This is Honey. She came to us from the North Adams Animal Control Officer. She was found abandoned outside. She's very lucky that she survived, and she's playing. Yeah. She's between 6 months and a year, probably under a year. She is a lop that doesn't lop, which is why she's got such big ears.
So maybe a mix within there as well.
Right, some sort of mixed breeded. But she's just been so sweet and gentle and understanding. She loves to toss balls with bells around. She's one of the most docile rabbits I've ever met, honestly.
And we have to make sure also that we let people know that if you can't keep a rabbit, to certainly give the shelter a call, and then give you a call, Erin, at 447-7878. And your extension, Erin, is?
24.
24.
Same as the cat room.
Because I know that, you know, this is a brown bunny, but we've had many bunnies come into the shelter that have been let loose outside and to fend for themselves. Yes. And really they're a target for any dog, cat, or wildlife that's looking for a meal, and they're not safe out there. So again, if you have any concerns, you can't keep your rabbit, you certainly want to give the shelter a call and talk to Erin, and she could certainly help you out there. You said we keep between 5 and 6 rabbits at any time. Who else do we have available?
We have, well, speaking of outside and dogs, we have a beautiful rabbit named Kai. He's about 1.5 years, male. He's a dwarf, and he was found being chased around a neighborhood by a dog, actually, and a very good Samaritan was able to get him and bring him to us before he met an untimely fate. We have Romeo, who is going to be much better suited to an adult-only home, people who have lots of experience. He is on the older side. We're not sure quite how old. He does have a little bit of a cage aggression, but when he's down on the floor, he is such a sweet, he is so filled with personality.
Okay.
So we've got quite a few in right
now. February is Adopt a Bunny Month here at the shelter. So what's our staff, what's the shelter doing to promote rehoming our bunnies this month?
Well, our biggest focus, I think, this month is the information. We're trying to get as much information out there as we can on the care and the upkeep and what is actually entailed with a rabbit. Anybody who has any questions can stop by, can call. On the 26th of February, which is a Saturday, from 11 to 2, we're having what we're calling Bun Day, and kids are welcome to come. We're going to have coloring pages and activity sheets along with lots of information. We're going to be doing a raffle. We have a bake sale going.
Oh, great.
All the proceeds are going to go to the care and maintenance of our small animals, so it should be a lot of fun.
You say our small animals, and you know, I think most people refer to the Berkshire Humane Society, they think of the dogs, they think of cats, and hopefully now they're thinking of bunnies. But what other type of animal? You've been there for couple years from volunteering to a staff member. What other type of animals have you seen over the last couple of years in regards to small animals that have you seen come in?
Guinea pigs are quite popular. Right now we have 3 of those. We've seen ferrets, birds come through. Every once in a while we'll get a chinchilla, anything across the floor, aboard, except reptiles basically, mice, rats, lots of little critters.
Well, Erin, thank you for coming in today. Thank you for being our first guest on our show.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to be right back in a moment. We're going to show you a few other animals that we have available for adoption today at the Berkshire Humane Society.